Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be giving you guys a little walkthrough of my most recently finished sketchbook. I started this sketchbook in November of 2020, and I am done with it now, so that's exciting. I like to decorate my sketchbooks with different stickers, and I'll try and post links to where I got some of these from in the description box. Off the top of my head, I know that these are obviously Art Snacks stickers, these pretzels. I got this from a dice making company. It just came with the D&D dice that I bought. This, I won a coffee giveaway, and they gave me this sticker in addition to the coffee, so I don't know if this is purchasable, but I do really like it. These I got from Etsy. I will definitely post the links of those. And these, actually, I made. So, yeah, this was a sticker I made for my poetry collection. This is the image on the back cover, which I wonder if I have a copy in here. Let me see if I do. I do. So this is the front, but this is the back, which is what we're talking about. So this sticker is basically this image that I just made black and white and made into a sticker, mostly just for myself. I haven't sold them anywhere, but anyway. I also have some on the back, but these are just random stickers. I don't really know where they came from. This came from a Lebanese glass company called Lebanese Glass. So I like to start my sketchbooks with like an introduction page. As you can see, I have that I finished this on October 31st. That is because even though this video is obviously before then, I did set aside pages for Inktober. So I'll do a tour of those in the end, but I figured, I still wanted to like do a tour of the rest of the sketchbook before then. So I just decided to section it off into random columns and like almost give a snippet of different things that appear in the sketchbook. Some of these I did after they had already appeared in the sketchbook, and some of them I did before, and I was like, well, I have hands on the cover. Maybe I should practice hands more because hands are hard type of thing. Also, I'm using the Plumchester square sketchbook from the Art Snacks shop. I really like it. I love the paper quality. I feel like it meets a lot of my needs. So for this first image, I was in Casablanca, Morocco in like 2018. It was a while ago for a layover. I was only there for a day, but I walked around the city and just took pictures of the different buildings, and I really liked how this one came out, and I like going through my pictures and recreating them as paintings. I also really like drawing buildings, so I used watercolor. This paper is not the best for watercolor, but it held up just fine, even though there were like a lot of layers of water on this. It held up just fine for like practice, for fun. I have no major complaints. My husband and I had just moved to a new home, and I was still unpacking a lot of my art supplies, so I just kind of wanted to do some chaotic, very collage-like mixed media portraits. This was just a random person from my head. This is my husband. We were sitting at our dinner table, and he just like picked up a pot lid, and it looked like a shield, so I just drew him in this very fun way. It says Juan, the hero of the South, which is a reference to Legend of Korra, not Tuck, the hero of the South. But anyway, so this was just fun. This was my first gouache painting ever. My first time using gouache. I am extremely happy with how it came out. It was a study of a movie still, a screen cap from the movie Hero, I believe. I'll see if I can post it somehow. I really love how it came out. It really opened my eyes to gouache as a medium. The next day I did this silly cat, and I never finished it, and I feel fine with that because I just wanted to paint, and I didn't care about the quality. I just wanted to like practice more with like layering smooth backdrops for gouache. It wasn't extremely effective, but that's fine. So you'll see something like this a few times throughout this sketchbook. I don't like wasting paint, so whenever I'm done painting, if there's still a lot of paint in my palette, I'll just open a random page in my sketchbook and just, even if I'm just blotting big blobs down, I think it looks better and feels better for me than just like throwing money down the drain. And you'll know because they always say I hate wasting paint, or I don't like wasting paint, or something like that. I never actually filled out this color chart, but I feel fine about that. I was going to do it for my gouache set, but I didn't, and that's okay. These silly cats were made on a different sheet of paper with alcohol markers, and then I just taped it in with some skinny washi tape. It was very fun. I really love how it came out. It inspired the cover cats. But yeah, it was fun. So this I love doing. I got this method idea from the YouTuber Drawing with Waffles. She has like a Pinterest board for like pose references, and has made a couple of videos of her practicing drawing different difficult poses. And I was really inspired by that because I want my characters to have more dynamic body language. So every now and then I pull an image from Pinterest and just practice it until I get something that looks good enough. I don't like how the background came out in this one. I should have just done like a plain color, but in general, this was a fun one. And this one I love so much. It was a human person, but I decided to switch it up a bit, and I wanted to draw my D&D character, Curie. You will see her a million times throughout this sketchbook. She is a big source of inspiration for me because I love purple and she is purple. So, why not just draw her instead of someone else? But I really like how it came out. It was really fun to like play with this awkward position that I never would have come up with on my own. And I enjoy drawing with alcohol markers as well. It's extremely fun. So these are, I call them my Swatchy Gals. These are all made with gouache paints. I used them to kind of experiment with different color palettes, which I really enjoyed doing. It all started with this one. I had made this gal the cover of a different sketchbook that I'm actually also almost done with. But I drew her and I became obsessed with her look and just made her a recurring character. But this is me experimenting with different color palettes and ways to draw that person. This is my favorite one. I love how her hair came out. I just think it's very fun looking. I don't love how this came out, partly because I wanted the whole thing to be alcohol markers, but silly me, noob mistake. I didn't think about how it would impact the gouache on the other side, and Dina's hair totally ruined my favorite one, but it's okay. So I did this half with alcohol markers, and I do generally like how it came out, and then I just used color pencil for this side so that I wouldn't negatively impact the page that I liked. This is a scene from The Last of Us Part 2, the video game, and it must be like my favorite part of the game. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful moment, and when the game was over, I felt in me that I needed to commemorate it somehow, so I drew it and wrote the lyrics to the song Take Me On. And it was just a very beautiful scene, and I love that game so much. This is another gouache study from, I did a screen cap of the movie Little Miss Sunshine. I love that movie. Oh gosh, as a therapist, I think I've seen it like so many times in so many different psychology classes, but it's a super good movie. I mean, in terms of this painting, it's clear that I am still learning how to use gouache. I think that I accidentally got a sense of false confidence from like how good this one came out, because this one I just like was never as happy with it. And that's okay, because the main reason to have a sketchbook is to practice and grow and like think about, what did I do weird this time? What could I do better next time? And there are a lot of things that I like about how this came out. For example, I really like the shading on his clothes. And I just felt like I learned a lot in the process. And later I have another gouache painting and the sky just looks so much better. So it was a learning experience and it was fun. I like the colors. This is another I hate wasting paint paint dump. I love how this one came out. The colors are just extremely satisfying to look at. But yeah, this was an Art Snacks challenge. I was not extremely inspired by the materials or colors that I got, but I think the animals came out fun in a slightly cursed, haunted look. So yeah. So let's see. Do I want to go through this? So I think I'm going to do a separate video going into this a bit more. I did a playlist challenge where I took a playlist and for each song I created an image. But the fun thing about it was that it was the playlist I created for my character Kiri in the Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I'm in right now. I like making playlists for my characters to like help me understand them a bit more and just have more fun and immersion with it. So I think I'm just gonna like flip through these, and I might make another video where I talk about the songs I used and what was the inspiration behind it. Maybe tell a little bit more about like where she was in the story at that time. That sounds like a good idea. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I love how this one came out. 10, 11 songs on that playlist. And by the end, I was really tired of it, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna do this. This is just a fan art spread of different characters that I really like. So Korra and Jinora are from Legend of Korra. Bakugo and Izuku Midoriya are from My Hero Academia. Marceline the Vampire Queen and Princess Bubblegum are from Adventure Time. And then She-Ra and Queen Glimmer are from She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. These are all of my children. I love them dearly. Also, if I just switch out Jinora with Asami and Glimmer with Catra, all of these characters are dating. So that's a fun little detail. These are generally just like some of my favorite characters within those different universes. I really had to hold back from just like doing a full Legend of Korra spread and a full She-Ra and the Princesses of Power spread, because I just like love all of those characters so much. But I really love how Marceline came out. I think she might be my favorite in these. I used her design from the like new special that they released that had her and Princess Bubblegum's backstory. So that was, I just liked the look, and the color palette was very Marceline, even though it was a newer version of her. I'm so sorry for all of you Deku fans out there. I totally ruined his face on so many different levels. So I just want to formally apologize for making him look like such a doofus. Boys are hard to draw. It's also hard to draw anime people as not anime, because the thing about anime is that they don't have a lot of discernible facial features, so you throw a nose on there and suddenly they just look super weird. And like the hair was just very difficult to draw, but it's fine because we're all about growing. I do like how Bakugo came out, even though I had similar issues with like the hair and facial features. I think he just came out looking more like Bakugo than this poor creature looks like Deku. Also, he looks very angry, so even if you can't tell who he is, the facial expression gives it away. This was something I actually worked on with my personal therapist. We were talking about like things that are difficult to talk about and what makes them hard. So I kind of conceptualized that as like the things inside of the jar are like the squishy, vulnerable parts that we are like nervous about sharing. And these creeps are kind of representing what makes it hard to share those things. But anyway. Doodles. This is another picture that I took. This was from a street in Adams Morgan in Washington, D.C. And I used gouache, and I think it came out pretty good. I love how the sky came out. I think I am showing like a lot of improvement compared to my last gouache portrait. Not portrait, landscape, I guess, is the exact opposite of portrait. But yeah, I think I'm showing improvement, so I was pretty happy with that. I really like how the sky came out, that's for sure. Some more gouache studies. I'm on a mission to be good at using gouache paint. These are both screen caps from Anna Karenina, the movie starring Keira Knightley. I wanted to get like more of a full body close up. I like how the bottom of her skirt turned out. It was kind of a bummer that it cut off here because the ruffles were pretty fun. And I like how her hand came out. Hands are hard, and this came out pretty good, so I have no complaints. This was a close-up of her. It doesn't look a thing like Keira Knightley, but that's okay because I still think it looks really good, and I'm really happy with how it did come out. I added the gold foil to the background, and I just think it makes it pop, but I love this. I think it might be one of my favorite pictures in this sketchbook. This is another fan art spread. Leafeon is my favorite Pokemon. He's literally like a cat fox. They're literally a cat fox made out of leaves. Could there be anything cuter than that? Beauregard from Critical Role. She is my favorite character there. I deeply resonate with her on so many different levels. Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. Janai from The Dragon Prince, I believe, is the Netflix show. She's not my favorite character, but I did like her character design. My favorite character from that show is her girlfriend, Aunt Amaya. But Aunt Amaya's design, I felt, wouldn't have popped as much. Her color palette's the exact same as Momo Yaoyorozu from My Hero Academia, and I knew I wanted to draw Momo, so I chose Janai instead. Speaking of which, Momo and Eri are both from My Hero Academia. As you can see, I'm on a huge kick for that show right now. Eco from the video game Eco, one of my favorite video games. I love that trilogy of Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. They're all so beautiful and deep and unique in so many different ways. And then Link from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is another one of my favorite video games. Another gouache study. This was a picture of the K-pop star Yuno Yunho. Showing my age a little bit by choosing him, but that's okay because aging is a beautiful thing. And I really like how it came out. The lighting in this picture was really interesting. It was very yellow and green, but I'm really happy with how his shirt came out. Goodness, I don't think I could be happier with how his shirt came out. So yeah, showing some growth with gouache. I will conquer it, I promise. I had art block, and I just grabbed my acrylic paint markers and started scribbling, and this is what came out. So that was fun. This is just a little cartoonized watercolor landscape looking thing. I like pink, so that was fun. I love making collages. I think that it's a really easy way to express creativity in a like lower commitment kind of way, and just express some kind of emotion without needing to think too hard about it. I like that it can be very intuitive of like, it's more about the mindfulness of like choosing like pictures that go together somehow. But I really enjoyed this collage. This is a Polaroid of my cat Smoothie, and this is a line from one of my poems. This poem is not in my published collection, but it is a line from one of my poems. The line is, "You breathe life into me with your softness." So, I had some more art block, and so I took my Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolor set and just did a blob for each color and made some kind of creature or image based on that blob. I love this cursed image so much. It's deeply unsettling and it brings me so much joy. I also really like how this camel came out. I think it's really cute, and this little ferret is also cute. I don't know if you can even see the details of it, but it's super cute. Some more of those. Nothing particularly interesting on this page. I like the cactus foot. That was a fun one. And I like this sassy cat. I don't know if you'll probably not really be able to see details too much because the lighting in here is in need of more love, but yeah. I had some more art block, and so I just grabbed my paint markers again and just did this silly looking character. Her hands looked very philosophical, like she was pondering something, so I just wrote these silly words. It was like the first thing that came to my mind. What am I? Am I the sky? Or am I fries in disguise? So, I don't know. I'm a silly person, so I just wanted to write some nonsense to match this. This is another landscape study, I guess. I love drawing buildings, as you can see, but this is another picture from the streets of Washington, D.C. I can't remember where I took this, but that's okay. I used alcohol markers for this one. I'm a lot more comfortable with alcohol markers than I am with gouache, so it came out, I think better. I also just really like the colors, and I like how I drew this tree, and I like the decision to just, focus on the street and not like random stuff in the peripherals. So this is another collage. My husband and I went to the Maldives, and it was just like the most beautiful trip ever. I took a sketchbook with me. I didn't like the sketchbook very much, so I just cut out the paintings that I did while I was there and taped them here. I painted some fish. We went snorkeling, so I painted some fish. Just a little landscape of the sights. I might redo this one. It deserves some more love. And I painted my husband kayaking. I love how this came out. I just think it looks really cute with the simple colors. And just some more paintings from that trip, the koi fish. And then for this one, I was just super excited when the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer came out. So I immediately had to draw Link's new costume because I think he looks super cool. This is another painting of my husband from the Maldives. This one I did while we were there with like a very limited color palette, and I did it very quickly. So it's not the best one, but it was still fun. It was still a fun experience. And I think it looks cute. This is the final I Hate Wasting Paint spread in this sketchbook. I love the colors in this one. I think it's fun. I recommend to you, if you are like me and don't like wasting paint, just open a random page in your sketchbook and just blot the colors down, see what happens. Make like a little mini painting for yourself. I didn't finish this, and that's okay. I don't plan to because I'm just kind of tired of it. But my husband loves to cook. That is his creative outlet. That is how he expresses himself. And every so often, we together will make these really like intricate meals. And he, for Juneteenth, made like a really good menu with like a story through each item on it. And often when he does that, I will draw out a menu to like just help us remember it a little bit more. But I'm just not going to finish this one, and that's okay. Hands are weird and hands are hard. So just a little spread of me trying to learn how to do them a little bit better. I like how this one came out a lot. I also think this one came out pretty good. So, practice makes perfect. I will conquer gouache and I will conquer hands. 2022 goals. Did some portraits from Pinterest inspiration. Just grabbed different portraits and sketched them, and I inked the ones that I liked most. So, yeah. I want to get better at botanical illustrations too, so I just did a spread of botanical drawings. Birds of Paradise, Shooting Star, Wildflowers, and Monstera are the ones that I chose to ink. I didn't know these existed, but they were super pretty. I might do more of them and like color them in. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the others, so I'm just gonna bring it closer. But I did eucalyptus, oyster mycelium mushrooms, a peach tree branch, devil's ivy, Indian paintbrush, which is a terrible name, but whatever, and a pear tree branch. I needed to practice foreshortening. It's very hard. I was getting the hang of it here and there, but I still need to work at it. This is my growth edge. It was very frustrating. I colored some birds with alcohol markers. It was very fun. It brought me a lot of joy. And I got better with each one. So I did this one first, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. So it was nice to see the progression. God, this is a pink finch, which I didn't know it was a thing, and I still don't know if it's actually real, but God, it was beautiful. I love pink, so I didn't know that there were pink birds. But this one is my favorite. I actually made a sticker out of this cute little man for myself. So yeah, I just really like how it came out. I love the colors. And we are on the last page before my allotted Inktober pages, which are not in this tour because it hasn't passed yet. So I posted on Instagram and just made a post that was just like, what should I draw today? And I just drew out the answers that people gave me. So my sister told me to draw the picture that I posted because she said it was cute. So I took that as a chance to do a gouache portrait of myself. And I think it came out cute. This is a painting that I have in real life, and I just goofily did a really bad version of it in the background because it was in the background of that picture. Maybe I'll show that somehow too. And then the words people gave me were reflection, transient, pink ice gradient, and unicorn swordfish. So that was a really fun kind of experiment for myself. And then the last thing that I will show is on the back of my sketchbooks, just like to swatch new materials, my alcohol markers, but also just when I'm trying to get colors for something, I'll use that as a chance to swatch them together and see if it looks like what I want them to look like. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this Sketchbook Tour. I have a few other finished sketchbooks, but they're older. This is my most recent one, so it's the one that I'm the most proud of. And yeah, I mean, I might post those other ones eventually. I probably will, but I just finished this one basically, and thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you find time for creativity in your day, even if it's just like a small thing that you do for yourself. I love drawing, and I'm glad that I got to show you some of the stuff that I practiced throughout the last year. So thank you. Bye-bye.